Hi there. Let me give you my take on what I believe the current problem is at Manchester United Football Club. And you may think I'm stating the obvious here, but I do think it needs saying. It's not the players, it's the system. The problem has been the system ever since Ruben Amorim arrived at Manchester United Football Club. The stats speak for themselves. Instead of finding a way to get the best out of the players, Ruben has stubbornly stuck by trying to force our players into what he promised is the all-conquering template of 3-4-2-1. I understand Amorim wants his system to work and he's going to stubbornly stick to his guns until he runs out of bullets. But it's not working, and it's still not a good fit for too many of our best players. That's the truth. We can all see it, and so can the teams we play against. Our tactics are easy to work out, and they don't suit too many of our best players. That's why Bruno Fernandes doesn't look happy. That's why generational talent Kobbie Mainoo can't even get off the bench most weeks. That's why Amad Diallo is being wasted as a part-time wing-back. That's why Amorim didn't work harder with Marcus Rashford. But it's not just a case of putting square pegs in round holes. I'm also calling out the belief that Ruben Amorim's system needs a lot of time to learn. Excuse me, but playing football is not that difficult. Good players can adapt, but they have to suit the system. Football, as I always say, is a simple game complicated by coaches. And I'm sorry, but it makes no sense when we're told new striker Šeško didn't start either of United's first two games of the season because he hasn't learned how to play the Amorim way. This is football we're talking about. It's not rocket science. Don't get me wrong, I do like Ruben Amorim. I really, really want Ruben to succeed. He's clearly a dynamic personality who's tackled disruptive players head on and created a good team spirit. He handles the media well and is a very likeable guy, even if he is a stubborn so-and-so. But talk is cheap. This is a results business. And I feel it's been a big mistake by Ruben to stake his reputation on a system he says is the only way, whatever the consequences. Sooner or later, the consequences will be United looking for a new coach if things don't improve drastically. And I don't mean just winning the next two games. That's the minimum requirement at this moment in time. Amorim warned us the storm will come when he took charge last season because he knew we didn't have the players to play his system. At the end of the season, he gave a brilliant rallying speech when he promised the good times are coming, but we still have too many square pegs in round holes. And let's be honest, there are no easy games in the English Premier League. It's ironic that Eric Ten Hag recruit Mason Mount has been one of our best players so far this season. But what's Mount's long-term position in the side? We've got a squad of players full of great number 10s, but we don't have a midfield that can dominate a game in the English Premier League. And with the transfer window closing this upcoming Sunday, time is running out. Without more incomings, it would definitely feel like Ruben Amorim has been left short of what he needs. At this late stage, United would have to do something remarkable to transform our midfield. So, let me throw this at you. What if? What if United were to accept a new £100 million bid from Saudi Arabia for Bruno Fernandes, our best player for the last couple of seasons? And what if we used that money, plus more, to buy Brighton's Carlos Baleba? For me, Baleba would be the perfect midfield partner for Kobbie Mainoo. Now that would be an exciting midfield access to build Ruben Amorim's team around. That would definitely get me excited, and that would make the 3-4-2-1 lineup more acceptable. The problem is Brighton don't want to sell Baleba, and they don't need to sell Baleba either. So it's going to take a massive offer to get him to Old Trafford this summer. If we don't move heaven and earth to get Baleba or find a viable alternative, I don't see how Amorim's 4-3-2-1 formation is going to work this season. Now, unless we're going to do something remarkable in the remaining days of the transfer window, and we still need to fix the goalkeeper position, of course, my view is that Ruben Amorim needs to be more flexible with his formation. We can't keep making excuses. When fans keep reminding us it took Fergie 7 years or thereabouts to win the title, it's no longer a valid comparison, not in my opinion. The game has changed beyond recognition from the 80s. So have the demands of sponsors who want success as much as our fans. But more fundamentally, in 2025, the importance of successfully trading players has become critical, an area we still haven't mastered. But let's see what happens this week. What happens in the market over the next few days is going to have a big bearing on our season. My expectation is we're going to see some frantic last-minute transfer activity, not least because we have Højlund and the so-called bomb squad still looking for closure. While we're still well short of what Amorim needs, there is good reason to be optimistic about the new signings already wearing red. And that's why I still hope that Ruben can turn things around. Matheus Cunha is a player who can be one of the great Premier League stars since the competition started. He's got that magic that fans love, and he's got bags of confidence as well as skill. I really do like Matheus Cunha. He'll shine whatever the system, in my humble opinion. And Mbeumo too, I think, is a great signing. We can already see his quality. And it won't be long before we celebrate more end product from both Mbeumo and Cunha. Of that, I have very little doubt. Meantime, Šeško is a really exciting prospect, but he needs to play and he needs service. We saw what happened to Rasmus Højlund when the team wasn't set up to make him look good. Now it looks like Højlund is going to Napoli. I'd like to see him come back a more complete player, but let's see if Højlund is shipped out to Napoli on loan and what the terms are. What worries me most, as things stand, is the marginalisation of Kobbie Mainoo. Even Gareth Southgate recognised his immense talent and fast-tracked him into the England squad for the Euros last year. After scoring our winning goal in the FA Cup final, he ended up playing in the final of the Euros, and his future looked off the charts until Ruben Amorim arrived. Now he's stuck on the fringes of United's squad, and without the right midfield partner, I do fear his game time under Amorim will be limited, if he's even going to stay at Manchester United, that is. In the Premier League, he doesn't naturally fit Ruben Amorim's system, not with the current shape of our current squad. In our first two games, it feels like Kobbie Mainoo was only included to preserve our record of having an academy youngster in every first-team matchday squad since October 1937. There's a real danger that record will be lost under Ruben Amorim. No academy graduate started against Arsenal or Fulham. Hopefully, that will change at Grimsby on Wednesday night in the League Cup. There's a chance we may see both Mainoo and Tyler Fredrickson start the Carabao Cup tie. Both Mainoo and Fredrickson were on the bench against Arsenal and Fulham. And at Grimsby, I definitely want to see Mainoo start, even if it's only for that one match. Anything less, and that really would be a big statement from Ruben Amorim. The Grimsby match comes at a useful time for Amorim. In a season where we mostly only have one match a week, it's an opportunity to give more players valuable game time. Šeško will surely get his full debut at Grimsby. Not the most glamorous place to start, but that may prove a good place to find his scoring boots away from the pressure of the Premier League. What Šeško needs as much as minutes are goals. That's how he'll be judged, and that's what we spent over £70 million to buy. So far, we again have a minus goal difference after the first two Premier League matches, and that must be rectified against Burnley on Saturday. With Man City and Chelsea to follow, it's so important we beat Burnley. But first, it's Grimsby, and that too is a game we must win. The two domestic cups are our only chance of silverware this season, and there's no room for error at Grimsby Town. Not least because Manchester United Football Club desperately need to start winning football matches again. Under Ruben Amorim, United have only won once in our last 11 Premier League matches, and only once in our last 6 competitive matches in all competitions. Grimsby, meantime, are unbeaten so far this season, with 3 wins and 2 draws, 1 point off the top of League Two. An impressive start by the Mariners. But even this United team in transition is going to be far too strong for Grimsby. Just don't get carried away if United go goal crazy. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And please watch one of these videos next if you want to support this channel.